Yeah.
We have a robot turtle. Stranger things have happened.
Very true. And we had a ex-ally leave us for a rat prince. Life's weird right now.
I can talk to my dog.
They are seeking change. I believe that it is inevitable for them to see the error of their ways and move on to new horizons.
All right, if that's what you think is best, I look over at Daniel. It's like, least we can do is see this out. We're already here.
Yeah, let's see what River has to say, but if they gotta take someone, let's make them take the turtle.
Do you still identify as a turtle?
In part, yes. It is
Okay,
hard to leave behind the past visage I had,
Okay.
but we are something more now, something more compelling.
So are you trying to work with this Amethyst Academy? Do you want to work for the people?
I believe the Amethyst Academy should be dissolved.
Okay.
We
So
must
are we
always
gonna
keep residents in peace, and these factions serve no purpose to include everyone else.
Very true. Everyone's just kind of fragmented. Well, but stronger as a united force, but everyone kind of has their own objectives. We probably need to at least play the field a little bit. I don't know about you guys, but we could always use more allies.
I'm down to see what she has to say.
Yeah, this
But
one is a
Bulk,
little bit rocky.
you think you can make us a suit of armor?
I don't believe so, but I think we can forge a path and see what the future holds, and we can all achieve resonance within ourselves.
It's all right, Danielus. We'll find another meteorite. You'll have an explosion.
I'm down for a robot arm.
We'll see if it stops there.
Danielus, what do you think about what he said that all the factions should be dissolved? All the groups playing at power here in Drakkenheim.
I'm down for that. I'm ready for a new age. Right?
Well, are you? There's no
I am, I think.
That's however Danielus sees it.
I am. I'm down for. I'm agree with you, Bulk. I'm down to see a new age to see if we can make this area better.
Ah, yes, a brotherhood.
Yeah, Theron probably sees all this, or at least is processing it in his head. Not as much of like everyone shedding their groups, but no longer going by separate groups to form a cohesive unit together is probably how he sees it more in his head.
I'm down to try to unite the groups.
Yeah,
and
the only
establish
way we'll be able
a new order.
whatever.
A new order. We can try.
Yeah.
We have a robot turtle. Stranger things have happened.
Very true. And we had a ex-ally leave us for a rat prince. Life's weird right now.
I can talk to my dog.
Marcus just sits there and looks up at you like,
Yeah, what's Barkis's take on this whole bulk situation?
It's
a lot of head tilts.
Marcus is he's kind of like been sitting behind Daniels the entire time, but you know how a dog like peeks its head around and he's just like he has not taken his eyes off of Bulk. Okay. Any other conversations or anything that may occur? Okay, it sounds like the party wants to establish a new world order. They seem very amenable to Bulk's ways. Suddenly,
yes.
Suddenly, Bulk doesn't sound so crazy.
I'm so. If he wants to be our god, turtle power.
I am just a mere prophet of the sound.
Well, now, you get me in that throne, I will create a new order.
As soon as Farron hears prophet, he's just kind of like, oh no, it's another Lucretia.
As long as the coin is good, right, Daniels?
Oh, for sure.
What does it really matter?
Baron's treating this just like everything else. He's just to see if there's going to be corruption. He's for the retaking and reestablishment of Drakkenheim, the city, whether that's the monarch or not, as long as
I
we can
just
get rid of this delirium corruption.
my people have been cast aside and having to do the what we can to survive. So if I could bring power and order, I could help my family at home and distribute the wealth to everyone.
And
Makes
that
sense.
was the meteor, but a redistribution. Now the pieces are out there. They just must be assembled.
Assembled for what, though?
Purity and resonance. If we remove all corruption that the delirium tempts, it morphs those that are corrupt and unholy. It's bait.
So do we have to
Bulk,
clear
make a persuasion check.
Yeah, Baron's getting a little more sketched out by the more of this.
And because you are also no longer exhausted because you took a long rest, so you don't have to make those a disadvantage anymore. Persuasion. He's assaulted by Millipot.
Millibot's controlling his arms, just not letting him.
Yeah, so while Bulk just sprattled off this this blathering of words, Daniels and Farron kind of look at each other.
I know. Baron's just
And
like, let me take one.
I'm just going to assume it's a bad roll since Steven can't find it. So it's a bad roll. Bulk doesn't appear persuasive at all. What do you guys think?
No. It's an 18. It's an 18. Please, for the love of Christ, it was an 18.
It's
did
too
pop
late. We
in
moved
through.
on. We moved on. But just in general, what do you think about?
Well, everything was kind of kosher with Farron until he was talking about the reuniting of the delirium into a whole, and now he's just like, a little more hesitant because I think in Farron's mind, delirium just equals corruption. Ergo, almost every interaction we've had with it.
Do you say that?
I'm Farron's still just trying to get a whole feel for this
Say
new
what you
Bulk.
say.
Okay, so Bulk just did that whole like bringing it together for purity, and it only corrupts those who are already corrupted. And Farron's just going to rattle off like, but who's to be the judge of who's to control this delirium? Once it's all whole, how are you going to keep it safe from the uncorrupt?
Truly, we must seek a way to purify and truly utilize delirium. It's been tainted in this current form. It needs to be procured and studied and turned into a safe haven. The land around is decimated by it currently. We have no hope of establishing balance and order with it wreaking havoc as is.
Well, I
Barrett, if
agree.
he found a way to use the delirium to heal himself, there's a chance that we could maybe heal the people that have been corrupted.
I'm just trying to figure out if he's using it or if it's using him. We saw
That's
how everyone
true.
else with the delirium wanted to gain more fragments.
I'm down for fighting for power. Our people have been a stepping stone. So if he's for that, and I think we can shape this country in a better area.
Brother Farron, I sense your distrust and distrust. I think we must move together as we have, and we can continue to find solutions that unify. I truly believe that is what resonance looks like within Drakkenheim.
Well, you're right. I may be skeptic. I'm also open to being proven wrong. While the city's corrupted regardless, we'll have to root that out, and we'll see if what you say is true, if this can be used to aid instead of just corrupt. But we'll have to find, if we're going to get rid of all this corruption in the city, we can't do it just the three of us. We're going to have to find help. I remember you saying, didn't Mel have a hideout somewhere as I look over to Danielus? We're going to have to find
That's true.
allies. We know Lucretia's in the city. We have Amethyst Academy coming. I have my sister in the Sacred Flame, and
Yes, and we have the people we just met down in the cave system with the rats. We can maybe use them to unite us too.
we just finally, surprisingly, somehow got on neutral terms, which is, I would say, a plus with the Hooded Lanterns, or at least
Exactly.
a representative for them. And
Cool.
while we may not,
So, oh yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, while we may not be able to get them all to work together immediately, we at least need to get some of them to work with us.
We've really
Sure.
reached all the factions here.
Except for the paladin one, that knights of something.
Yeah.
We
Technically,
met
you
them in the
did
church
meet all the
once.
factions. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, in either case, excellent job, everyone. Awesome conversation. As you guys are having that debate, two figures start to approach you all in camp. One is River. So, her quick description, short tiefling woman who looks to be in her 20s or 30s. She certainly is on the younger side. She had those two brown horns. Oh, I knocked over my mic. She has those two brown horns that come out of her head and the blue hair. And on her side is the shield guardian. This is kind of the color of Bulk's armor, I guess you could say. But in either case, a large swimming figure, about 10 feet tall, standing right beside River. River and the guardian approach. As she's coming forward, you can see her kind of looking around. She's taking in the scene, and her eyes are locked on to Bulk. She steps up and approaches. Well, good morning, gentlemen. You all look like you've been busy.
That's one way to put it. Yeah, busy's good. Busy's a nice thing. Yeah.
It's been a weird morning.
Where's Steel
Yeah.
Billy?
Yeah, about that. He decided to go off on a separate venture, kind of unannounced and unbeknownst to us.
Driven mad by the city. And he
Uh,
proclaimed himself hero of the world last we met, I believe. Shame. More gold for you all to divide then. What
Well,
about you?
why?
Certainly an interesting change, looking towards Bulk.
yes, Sister River. We have some unfortunate news to disclose, I'm afraid.
Yes.
It does seem that the meteor and the delirium embedded in it has been lost.
What are you talking about? Were you successful
Yes, we were
in
able
your task?
to collect the delirium.
Where is it? Let's see.
It is part of us now. It resides within this vessel.
She looks at you and she looks at Farron and Danielus and she's like, what is he talking about?
It's
Where's the
been a
crystal?
weird morning.
I
There
hold
were a
out
couple
my.
explosions.
Yeah, and it's we're still trying to piece together how and what exactly happened. Maybe you could help us with that?
River she's have you seen that meme where the lady is doing all the equations and stuff in
Yes.
front of her? She's standing there hands behind her back, classic snooty person style, and she's just kind of taking eyes all around the situation. She sees a huge scorch mark right near where Bulk is standing, and she looks at him and she says, "You did. Where's your child?"
Oh, so you do know what happened.
We are one.
And she just starts laughing. That
So are we gonna get that gold?
get what gold?
Bold.
Have I received a crystal?
You could take the turtle.
Oh.
Did you get anything? Any
Um,
delirium at all?
I think we got some fragments, and we went back to that broken statue that Diedrich busted, and there were some fragments, right? There were some shards or something. But granted, I don't know if those got absorbed into Volcamus
They did.
Prime or what. They did.
Miss
They did.
Prime, I like that.
No, they should be in his backpack still.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I just wasn't sure if the backpack was on when it exploded, and then just weird crystal went over him, or I guess
Also, your mic is a little quiet.
I'll just point over to the bag, Bulk, do you mind? Do we show her what we've got, or I could go through and get it if you're busy?
No, yes. Brother Farron, if you could retrieve my bag. Be careful of the delirium inside.
I'm assuming you have a backpack like the two straps. I'm just gonna grab it by the strap.
Yeah,
I'm not
it's a big
reaching in this
thing.
backpack because knowing bulk, I'm like, I don't know what's gonna be in here. As it jingles the whole way, because I'm assuming bells are everywhere.
Very good. Yeah. So you pull the backpack forward. River, she kind of reaches into her cloak, which you recall is a brilliantly purple cloak, the cloak of the Amethyst Academy. You can always recognize an Academy member cloak. So she reaches kind of inside. She pulls out two gloves and a pair of goggles and also a pair of tongs. And she, with far more care than you've ever seen Bulk display, extracts slowly. And are you giving her all the delirium you got?
The 3 fragments, yes.
The three fragments? Did you get anything else?
I have 3 chips. Is she going to be interested in that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure,
Any,
yeah.
literally any
There's
delirium.
3 chips, 3 frags.
3 chips, 3 fragments. Okay, so she slowly pulls out, and as she's looking at each one, chip, chip, chip. Okay, a couple of fragments. That's not bad. And so you did find something, though.
Yes,
You found a.
Yeah, we brought it up here, and we
How
had
large
it
was it?
Um, I
It was
don't really
quite
know how
large.
big it is, but I make like hand motions
Yeah.
of like a box, and I'm just like, it's like,
You can see almost. So River has, besides when she laughed, she has like an incredibly cool demeanor. But for an instant, you can see just like that flicker of disbelief and a tiny moment of anger at the situation. That could have been the best find we've had in weeks now.
a lot of people died down there. We ran into some hooded lanterns. Well, we ran into one. Apparently, there were more, but they were eaten. There was a lot of rats.
Hooded
So,
lanterns. Those people are fools. Could you
yeah,
imagine any anyone of the old royal family surviving this for 15 years? That's incredible. That's insane.
I mean, stranger things have happened, and then I gesture toward like all of bulk.
She shakes her head. So she has taken the delirium. She pulls out another pouch. This is a like sizable bag of gold. She reaches in and she grabs like a handful, and she hands it out to you. And she says, "Here, 330 gold to whoever takes it. If you guys want to
Shoot.
split it 110 each, or
Yeah, I'm good to just split it.
okay,
We got
cool. So
pockets.
yeah, so 110 gold
Fine.
each. And she says, "Well, unfortunately, I was very excited to hand over this entire bag to you, but I cannot compensate you fully for a job half completed.
Yeah, sorry
Now,
about that.
It was a
however,
turtle.
when one door closes, another opportunity opens up." And she looks at Bulk and she says, "I think it's time you and I had a little chat."
That may be for the best.
She walks up to you and she starts like just like closely inspecting like your body, and she pulls out a little pad and she starts taking notes. So you don't remember anything that happened?
Not in the
This is
moment.
not how you were yesterday.
We have seen to achieve something higher than we once were. But no, most everything is fragments, loose thoughts, nothing truly complete until now.
She scribbles furiously. "I haven't heard much about you. Have you published any works? What is your field of study in magics?"
In the past, it was mostly just tinkering and exploring and finding what could be achieved.
Tinkering, you say?
Yes, exploring what has not been explored.
Hmm. And tell me again, my memory does seem to be fading. Did you complete your apprenticeship at the academy? I certainly remember you there, and then I don't seem to recall you at all.
Unfortunately, in the past, things did not go as planned, and I had to leave the academy under unforeseen circumstances.
Yes, I don't see any rings on your fingers. And you will recall she has brilliant 5 rings on her right hand. So she says, "Yes, I don't see any rings on your fingers, so you didn't graduate. What have you been doing all this time?"
I've been seeking out the ways of the world and finding the delirium most attractive for my research. But now I feel there is more purpose to my studies and what could be found as we have ascended.
Yes. She's just like furiously scribbling down notes. I'm not surprised to see you here in a quest for ambition. It certainly sounds like you have high goals. You know, Drakkenheim has attracted many rogue mages, those who fall outside the Academy's jurisdiction. Even the Amethyst Academy itself is not officially here. It seems magic attracts magic.
It does not surprise that the Academy doesn't follow its own sanctions.
Well, you can understand that the Academy is willing to do whatever it takes to achieve its goals.
As we have witnessed many times over.
Indeed. Let me cut to the chase, Bulk. Resources are limited within the Academy, and artificers who are able to work with delirium are rare. And you yourself would know that the artificers or artifice, I guess we could call it, is kind of like a new field of magic, almost in itself. So kind of the old techniques and kind of the old school that has been established for years to train wizards, sorcerers, and warlocks, that infrastructure just doesn't really exist for artificers. So that explains her artificers are rare comment. I haven't had quite the time to look further into your history, but it's rare for the Amethyst Academy to let talent like this slip through their fingers. Open to pursuing a relationship with the Amethyst Academy. Nothing official if you don't want it to be.
We have opportunity together, Sister River. The Academy and ourselves don't see as equally as we once did. I feel a budding relationship is best for now, as we may seek resonance later.
Indeed, a little I scratch your back, you scratch mine. How does that sound?
Resounding.
Brilliant. There are multiple developments and forces moving in the city. It's good to know that the Academy can rely on one of its former assets. Now, the Academy would, first of all, be very interested in compensating you for any future designs. Anything you come up with. This I have never seen before. This armor is outstanding. Anything you come up with like this, I'd like to be the first one to know about it. You will submit your notes to me. Any blueprints, documents, or any other materials associated with it will be turned into me, and you will be rewarded handsomely. Second of all, we would like to be your benefactors to help fuel any creation. In return, you and your friends perhaps could complete some on-the-ground tasks the Amethyst Academy has. We are not a survey team. We are scholars and researchers and instructors. And she pulls out. What do you think Bulk's favorite tool would be?
Favorite tool? Off the
3,
top of
2,
my head,
1.
like a pick or some kind of like magnifying optics thing, like getting close kind of deal.
Okay, very good. She pulls out a what looks like a fancy lockpick. It's completely silvered over. She holds this up and she says, "This is one of the Academy's most groundbreaking inventions for artificers. We call it the all-purpose tool." She takes it in her hands, and you can see her hands glow with a bit of magic, and she puts her hands together, enveloping the pick. And as she removes them, it is a mallet and a pile of nails. She puts her hands together again, and she pulls it out, or she pulls her hands out, and it's a what's another tool? A crowbar and fucking whatever. We call it the all-purpose tool, capable of changing into all matters of tools at an instant. Anything the artificer may need on the go. And she hands it to you. This would be our first bit of payment.
This is magnificent.
Perhaps it's compatible with your suit.
Possibly. This is most intriguing. Blessings
Most
to you,
intriguing.
Sister River.
Indeed. So, Stephen, for your inventory matters, it's called an all-purpose tool +1.
It's pretty dope for an
Um,
artificer.
It's extremely dope. So that is what you receive. Farron Danielus, while he's and also, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention the suit of armor that he's wearing. I believe you already added it. I think I told you last week,
Yes.
but it is adamantine plate, and
Oh, yeah.
the major benefit here is that adamantine armor is immune to critical hits. So that you have. So Farron Danielus, while Stephen handles that, what's your reaction? Jump into the conversation, however you like.
So
Maybe start
he
with
lost
Danielus.
us all this money, and he gets a magical tool that does anything.
You have to think. There's more opportunity for work. She just said she's going to fund our expeditions. So maybe an initial loss to a potentially better gain?
Trust me, gentlemen, there's no one here more than me who would like to be handing you this entire sack of gold. Unfortunately, that's what you get.
I mean, I still think the doors are open. We could potentially, maybe later on, get even a bigger sack of gold if we maybe don't botch
For
the next
more
assignment.
work.
Brother
But we're not
I've
going to
been
go
doing
back into
work.
the city. We have to go to get your stopwatch or whatever you're missing. We're going to go back in.
We beg of you to remove short-sightedness from now, and let's look to the future. If
Well,
Okay,
go
turtle.
ahead.
if
Yeah,
gold is
finish your
what
thought,
you
Bulk.
need, you can have mine. Ours is nothing now.
Okay.
River jumps in and she says, I like this new Bulk. He's focused on what's important, the future. But what's more important than the future is the present. What we do in the present determines what will happen in the future. She says, gentlemen, how much do you know about the state of things in Drakkenheim right now?
They're not good.
As far as I can tell, they haven't gotten any better. Seems like the contamination's only gotten worse, and all kinds of factions are vying for power within the city, but no one's had much headway in clearing it out.
Indeed, there obviously is no ruling power in Drakkenheim. This is a good thing for us, for now. It allows us to perform our work without any meddling from those who don't understand the wonders of the arcane, the immense potential that exists in this delirium.
I'm not gonna lie, the only net positive I've seen is potentially new bulk, but also that's yet to be seen.
And no offense to Bulk, but this is rudimentary at best. That's one of the reasons we need to secure a steady supply of delirium to the academy so that we can further our research. We don't know if this could kill us all or be something that ushers us into a new technological age.
And what's to happen if you get it to the academy and corruption sets?
The academy has been studying delirium ever since it touched ground in Drakkenheim. We are very comfortable in our safeguards up to now. We strongly discourage field experimentation. Staring at Bulk. It's best to perform these spells within a anti-magic field that reduces the amount of arcane anomalies that may occur.
Stringent orders from the Academy does not surprise.
Yes, you will notice that many members of the Academy still have all of their body parts. Now, let me continue, gentlemen. Have you heard about the Silver Order?
I met one of the nuts briefly when I was talking it to someone inside of the Sacred Flame.
Indeed, I've seen that one. She calls herself the High Flame Keeper. And she reaches inside of her cloak once again, and she produces a document. There's been word from Lumen. The Divine Matriarch has made her move.
We'll move for what?
And she hands you guys the scroll. Or I guess she hands Farron the scroll.
I start reading it out loud.
Sure. I'm Farron.
You got it's perfect.
Yes. These edicts are posted by the order and authority of the divine matriarch, Mercy the Fifth, from the seat of high flame in Holy Lumen. The destruction of the city of Drakkenheim, felled by a falling star 15 years ago, was an event so devastating that it has left the realm of Westamar in fractious ruin. May the flame guide the souls of those lost that day and in the years since. The evil that has swept over Drakkenheim has also corrupted our most hallowed institution, the Church of the Sacred Flame. Heretics from the highest level of our faith have spoken heresy against the Church, and have yoked themselves with the corrupting stones that are found in the city. They call out to the weak and downtrodden amongst us, and twist their minds with words of rebellion. The head of the deceit is none other than our fallen sister, Lucretia Matthias. If this be permitted to continue, our world may well be reduced to ashes, and over 1,000 years of progress made by the Church of the Sacred Flame destroyed. In light of these events, let these indisputable facts be known to all the faithful on this continent. First, that the delirium is an abhorrent, abominable substance born of the corruption and deceit of foul demons. Second, that consumption, handling, trade, or usage of delirium for any purpose other than its immediate destruction is anathema to the virtues of our faith. Thirdly, that we are all called by the sacred flame itself to unite as one to purge this foul corruption from our lands. Fourth, that the Silver Order is the earthly vessel of our shared faith and devotion. It is a shield to protect us and a gauntlet fist to smash our common foe. The Silver Order have no claim over earthly titles. We denounce any attempt to divide the unity of our faith along arbitrary national lines. Fifth, that heretics and demagogues walk amongst us, spreading messages of blasphemy and lies. It is our absolute and resolute duty as custodians of the faithful to reject these messages in the strongest possible terms. To this end, the following decrees are henceforth enacted. All extraction, possession, consumption, handling, trade, or usage of delirium for any purpose is henceforth declared illegal. Any persons found to be in violation of these terms fall under the jurisdiction of the ecumenical court. The Silver Order is hereby granted provisional judiciary powers to try cases in exigent circumstances that prevent a court from being convened. The writings of Lucretia Matthias and her self-proclaimed followers are hereby declared heretical. Heretics who repent in front of the ecumenical court may find solace in repentance. The unrepentant in this life may seek repentance in the purging flames of the pyre. Any persons found to be in possession of heretical writings or to harbor known heretics falls under the jurisdiction of the ecumenical court. The Silver Order is hereby granted provisional judiciary powers to try cases in circumstances that prevent a court. The Silver Order is hereby ordered to purge the corruption of the city of Drakkenheim in holy flame, to protect the most sacred relics and history of the sacred flame, and to apprehend the heretic Lucretia Matthias, that she may be tried for her crimes against the faith. I challenge every capable man and woman of the sword, be they rich or poor, knight or foot soldier, nobleman or peasant, to give their life to this holy mission. Any person who wishes to take vows and enter directly into the Knights of the Silver Order are called to Drakkenheim. As soon as winter is over and spring comes, let them be ready to eagerly set out on the way with the flame guiding your path. May the sacred flame illuminate us all and guide us through these trying times.
Then I roll up the papers.
And I think we'll take a break right there.
Perfect.
And we'll be back on the other side, and we'll see what develops. All right. Peace.
Goodbye.